and welcome back to another episode of Points of Articulation. My name's Dave, and today I am starting to look at the Eaglemoss official Star Trek Starships collection. Now this is number 1, the USS Enterprise D. Growing up, the Next Generation, to me it's so iconic. I love the stories and the characters and the effects. I love the technology, and it really got me into science fiction as a whole, really. When you break it down, I remember sitting down with my dad on Channel 11 at the time, watching this. But you know, this ship is really awesome, and here's the box. It has all the series on the side, and then the original Star Trek. On this side, we have, basically in different languages, that it's not a toy. On this side, it says recommended age is 14, warning collectible figure, not designed for intended play. And then on the bottom, we have our Delta, and then the StarTrek.com, and the copyright from CBS Studios. And each ship comes in a box just like this, and it comes with a die-cast ship, a magazine, and a base with a stand, and they are really awesome. Usually with my shows I focus on the ships, so I'm not going to be looking at the magazines. But if you guys and girls are interested, let me know in the comments below, and I can make that happen where we go over the magazine as well. Let's get this beautiful ship out of the box, and we'll get started with the review. Now, my editor is still crapping out. I'm probably just going to have to make short videos till I could afford to buy a better one. So, I'm going to try to get everything, but just move really quick. And hopefully it comes out and you guys enjoy it. Starting off with the detail in the saucer section, we have our escape pods, our windows, our phaser strip, which goes all the way around the saucer. Our ray section here, the bridge. And then as we turn it, we have our shuttle bays, 1, 2, and 3. We have our impulse engines, more phaser strips. And the cool thing is, all these little windows that are black and white are molded in. So keep that in mind. This thing is loaded with detail. All these white and black dots, even on the secondary hull, are molded in. So it's really awesome. And then coming down here, we have our impulse engine. Nice, going down here. Then we have more phaser strips, and then we have our pylons. And these sections are kind of smooth, and those lead up to the warp nacelles. And the tops are molded really cool. They're made out of plastic, and then we have translucent dark red and translucent blue. And I love when they use the translucent plastic, it makes it really stand out. Turn it upside down, you can see the detail continue. We have lines here, molding here. Pretty cool. More phaser strips. Phaser strip. I always love this section here. It looks like a fan. Nice, they added that in. Now we have our deflector dish, which has some great detail in there. Then we have our neck, and I'm sorry I have to do this upside down, but right here where my fingernail is, that is the photon tubes. But continue on with the detail. We have our recessed windows, our normal windows, escape pods that go all the way around. And then we have this section right here, and everything is molded perfectly. They really outdid themselves here. It's like they made the plastic the star drive section, and then the saucer is the metal. And you'll see why in a second with the stand that comes with this. And that pretty much does it for the mold. So let's look at the paint. When dealing with the paint with Eaglemoss ships, it is hit and miss. And I've seen some people with like the letters are off. For the most part, the paint is great. Like, sure, I have some scuffs right here for the windows. They're scratched off, and my phaser strip has some rough edges. But besides that, A-okay. You know, all the windows are aligned pretty much on point. But we have all the windows black and white, which is awesome. We have our white painted escape pods. We have some gold paint here. The phaser strip is painted a nice dark gray. The USS Enterprise D and the registry number is nice and clear. We have red impulse engines down here as well. We have a nice red strip going down to the aft torpedo bay. And more windows. We have some details here, which are very fine, but you can see they're little boxes. Really cool. We have the registry number right here in orange. Back here we have more gold. Ship name right there. And here. Very fine. 2 phaser strips. And also there is navigation lights. We have red and green for this side. Red and green back here. On top of the nacelles, we have some black paint I guess a golden color. I wouldn't say it's quite orange. Maybe a light orange. And we have our Delta decal with the 2 stripes and more black right there. And like I mentioned, this is translucent plastic, almost like a dark cherry red in the front and light blue for the interior. And by the way, this section is the Buzzard collector, the red. And then underneath, more painted phaser strips, more gold, Delta, more gold, phaser strip, tons and windows and escape pods. Very nice. Then we have our deflector dish with blue paint, and then again that same light orange gold color. Here we can see as I zoomed in and focused, the windows are not really lined up that well with the molded windows, but this is the only area where that really happened. So what are you going to do? For the underneath of the saucer, more of that gold color. Again, windows, phaser strip, our escape hatches, very nicely done. We have one last thing about the paint, which you may have noticed, which is this light gray mixing with the tan and this great design. This is called Aztecan, and it is covering the whole entire ship. And you can see it here on the warp nacelle, on the star drive, right here on the pylon. For underneath, it's all over, even on the underside of the battle bridge and the neck. Just really nice. The paint here is second to none, but just very beautiful to look at. And that does it for the paint. So let's measure this beauty up, look at the stand, compare it, and we'll be done. When measuring the USS Enterprise D from Eaglemoss, she stands a little tiny bit over 5.5 inches. So it's a nice length of a model, and it's got the weight too from this diecast section. Now the stands for these are really unique. We have felt on the bottom, and then I think it's metal for this dome. And then it comes with this cool acrylic plastic, and that just slides in the top here, and is what it looks like. And the bottom, for anybody interested, is my number. Now the cool thing is, you take the ship, and I hope I can film this right, and you want to slide it in right there. You'll see it go in between, and then you want to just slide it back easy, and there you go. And it holds it up very nice. To compare with the Enterprise D, I have it next to the Hasbro Black Series Imperial Cargo Shuttle and NECA's Aliens Dropship. And also to compare, I have it next to Issue 2, the USS Enterprise refit from the motion picture era of Star Trek. And that does it for issue number 1 of the Eaglemoss official Star Trek Starship collection. This was the USS Enterprise NCC 1701D. Very iconic ship, great model, little issue with the paint here and there, but they did a great job. And if you're a real big fan of Star Trek and you're looking for die-cast ships that are really well made, Eaglemoss is the place to go. They have little ships like this, they have specials, which I have some of them, and now they're even working on larger scale Enterprises and other ships like the Defiant, and I heard maybe the Excelsior. And this is basically a collector's ship. It's not a toy. This isn't like a Hasbro thing. It's very delicate. Like if you drop this from a high distance, there's a good chance you're probably going to break it. So I would recommend this only for older collectors. So we have more of these to come. I hope you enjoyed my review, and I'll see you next time. Bye.